Good day, beautiful people. It is May 1st, 2021, man. We did it. It's another beginning of another month. Rent is due, but it's the weekend. They won't take it out till next week. Or something, dude. Stop the rent. Stop the mortgages. But they'll just keep coming, dog, because that's what we decided somehow, collectively. But we can stop it together. It's alright. It's okay. You just gotta raise your voice. Gotta elevate ourselves. Gotta help each other get uplifted. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. This episode, if you're tuning in, you know, first and foremost, it's going out for the Patreon fans. I know we're a tiny little small family, but we're growing every day, snowballing, turning into a little tiny avalanche. Before you know it, we're just gonna be taking over. I don't know what, but whatever. It is what it is, dude. Keep it short and breezy. Things that are on my mind, silly stuff, serious stuff, but it's a beginning of a new month. New challenges. We're making progress. A lot of people are speaking out, a lot of people are voicing their concerns, and I like to be of assistance in any shape or form that I can as well. And yeah, man, it's spring. You all want to be getting out, you all want to be going out, having fun, doing this, that, and the other. We've all been cooped up for more than a year now, and again, like I said, here in Toronto and Ontario, our province-wide lockdowns will be expiring next week, and we're all just, it's enough is enough. Let's set a date and forget it, and let's open up businesses. I think there is plenty of proof in the pudding that lockdowns do not work and further lockdowns do not work, and I think right now I read that 40% of Canadians would have been vaccinated by the end of Friday, which was last night, or at least gotten their first dose rather. And yeah, man, it's a mixed bag. But right now, let's start looking at alternative methods of approaching what's down the line in the next few months. And man, it's already May. It's already May, you guys. It's already May. Before you know it, it's school season again. September is going to be right around the corner. We got a few more months of spring and summer, and then we got to get back to work. Or something, man. But all I hear is still, the same old rhetoric, but it's still, it's getting kicked back and pushed back, and I'd like to be a little bit of that because I just don't feel like anytime, I'm always fighting for the underdog. I'm always team humanity, and every time it doesn't matter what we're talking about. It doesn't matter if I feel or if I see any group having an advantage or too much of their voice heard and not enough voice or emphasis is given to the other side or other sides, I always want to fight for the underdog. I don't and right now I just feel like, again, big pharma, corporate media, a lot of hands in a lot of similar pockets and just greasing each other's pockets, and the same rhetoric. You must get vaccinated, you must get, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer, I've said this many times. I believe in a ton of vaccines. But for me personally, I just need a little bit of time, and that is going to take more than a year or two. For me to be able to take something and feel comfortable about it, it needs to be at least 5 to 10 years, and test it amongst different populations, so I can be like, okay, the science is there, I can look at the stats and make a sound decision, and even then, I still have the freedom of what I'd like to put in my body and not have anybody dictate that or, passive aggressively dictate that, because they're not coming in and like cuffing you yet to tell you to get a vaccine, right? But it's passive aggressive. Sure, you don't need to get a vaccine, but if you want to attend a concert, gotta show us your ID or this, that, or the other. And again, this is a very slippery slope, and I just found this article, and there's tons of stories now coming out. And again, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I just feel like everybody, what have I said from the beginning? If you want to go get the vaccine, you should be able to go get the vaccine, especially if you're vulnerable, if you're in a position where your health is in not the best shape, if you got underlying health concerns, go get it, do it. But if you're young, if you're healthy, if you don't feel like you need it, and again, it's your choice, you should definitely have that freedom of choice. And yeah, man, all I hear is sometimes, well, people argue, man, you gotta do sometimes you gotta do, and I no disrespect to nobody, but I just like to, like, we just can't look at it from one perspective, and it's not fair like that. You're like, oh, we got to do it for the greater good. We got to do it for the greater good, which I find a lot of holes in that logic, because, like, again, if somebody were to wear the mask for themselves or get the vaccine, they should already be immune. So why should I have to take that responsibility? And secondly, we've never approached any, or for the most part, for the greater good concern is the who decides the greater good. Who decides what's best? Is it, why do we depend? Why should? And that's I have a hard time swallowing or digesting that argument, because a lot of times a lot of things don't get done, and it would make sense for us to get it done because of the greater good, i.e., homelessness. Everybody should be housed, right, for the greater good, right? But we don't do that, or at least we take our sweet ass time, right? But we don't really like hamper down on it and like put an emphasis on it. Or debt forgiveness. These are extremely huge concerns, and a lot of countries are now coming out with different. I read or I see videos of like India struggling with their COVID, and I'm sorry, but this is not on the people. This is on the governments. When I talk about any country, or I think places similar to India, maybe North Korea, maybe Iran, in similar circumstances in terms of how they're governing their localities and what have you. It's not the best places. These countries, for the most part, again, this is not because of the people, it's because of poor governance. They're impoverished, they're extremely polluted, and there's just a lot of underlying concerns. And for us to just blame this on like COVID and be like, oh, the Indian population is really dying, because yes, absolutely, there are probably people dying because of COVID, but if you look at a place like India, again, if you look at a place like Iran or something, there's a ton of underlying issues all the time going on. So if this exasperated, it's not the actual disease that's causing the problem, right? It's a lot of systemic problems that have been underlying and just, boiling up over the years. And this is just, or other countries who struggle with it too. Those are just like two primary ones that come in my mind because I see it in the news and whatnot. And yeah, the greater good concern, for the greater good, why don't we get rid of an overall global debt? Why don't we adjust a lot of other things? Why don't we make sure that everybody is housed? Why don't we make sure that human rights are not trampled on? Why don't we do these things for the greater good? But it's always why do you want to get the vaccine? For the greater good? Or is it just you want to get out there and party for a little bit, dude? And I hear you, dude. I want to party too. I want to party. You want to party. I get it. But that's the thing. I think we could all already go ahead and party. If you want to get out there, have some fun in a safe manner, you should be able to do so. It's been more than a year. The lockdowns no longer suffice. And I just pulled up this little article and I'm going to read it to you guys. And yeah, we'll keep this video short. It's on globalnews.ca. The title of the article reads, "Family of Quebec woman who died of blood clot after AstraZeneca vaccine urges vigilance." Blood clot. Talking about them blood clots. Let's read this article. Family of a Quebec woman who experienced blood clots and died after receiving Oxford AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine is urging others to keep an eye out for symptoms and seek help right away. The loved ones of Francine Boyer, 54, issued a statement late Tuesday confirming her identity and that her death occurred on April 23rd. Boyer and her husband, Alan Saris, received the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine on April 9th, the family says. She then experienced headaches and fatigue in the days that followed. She then went to the nearest hospital, the family said. Then, as her condition deteriorated, she was transferred to the Montreal Neurological Hospital Institute. Francine died of cerebral thrombosis, or that blood clot. R.I.P. And it's extremely sad. And this is just one case, and there have been other cases. So for me to just be like, no, I'm just gonna shut up and take it just because some guy, behind a big pharmaceutical company or research institute who is funded to develop vaccines, it doesn't sit well in my overall being. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not anti-vaxxer. No, not at all. If something's been out there long enough and it's been tested, it's been proven, and sure, all medicines have their, there's that anomaly, there's that lemon, whether it's a reaction a person might have or just other side effects that may occur, because not everything is 100%, and that's fine too. That argument is fine. But for medicine that has been around, for something like this that it's been rushed, and again, everything needs to be taken into account circumstantially, and you got to look at it with the actual context that it's framed in. Right now, I feel like, again, you should leave it up to the people. We should not be doing the whole, I hear some places, some countries are doing the vaccine IDs. Those are horrible ideas. And we're definitely, it's one of those pivotal points in humanity where we're going to be looking back and be like, man, what were we doing? And a lot of people are going to come out and be like, oh, well, we were just following orders. And well, haven't we heard that enough? You know? So I get it. A lot of people want to get out there, and a lot of people should get out there. Dude, I have been living my bestest life to the best of my ability given the circumstances over the past year. I still go around, do this, that, mindfully, of course. I don't have too many people in my social circle to begin with anyway, but I'm mindful. But again, I think everybody's taking these things into account. If you're elderly, you're not going to be going out partying, dude. You're mostly going to be staying home, going out to your little parks. You want to go to your church, you want to go to a little people should be responsible for themselves, okay? There should be personal freedoms that we should not be trampling on. It should never be so black and white, and everything should be looking at based on the circumstances. It just doesn't make sense. So now you have cases of people getting blood clots and passing away, and it sucks that I don't know how to bring this, because a lot of like the people that I talk to, most people that I talk to, family members, it's not the same rhetoric that I see in the news. A lot of people are like, no, I believe in vaccines, but I'm just not going to get this one just yet because it's just not been around long enough. And that's the majority of people around me. And I don't think we should be forcing each other to do anything. It's inhumane, essentially. It's inhumane for us to be, pushed to the side, silenced, coerced to shut up and not say anything, because if you do, you're putting grandma at risk. If you do, and that's not the case. You guys, this is not the best way to look at it. And I think for the most part, people on the streets, people in real life actually have a very similar view, but what I read online and what I see in the news media outlets is very much, I see a lot of biases. I see a lot of bullshit sometimes, and I hate to be like, oh, yeah, I don't want to just be like, you want to keep a level head. You want to keep a level head, and you want to move on, and you want to get things done, and you want to be, I want to be, and I know most people want to be somehow. I think we all have good intentions and want to be part of the solution, not a part of the problem. And I'm not talking about these things to get a little check mark or a little star or a little point or be like, yes, you got this right. Or I'm nobody, dude. I'm nobody. I'm just a single human being, just like many of you guys out there. I'm a single individual with his opinions, with his right to think and freedom of speech, and I like to express that in a proper manner, not to abuse my privileges, not to abuse my rights. And we all know with power comes responsibility, right? We all have those powers, but we can all speak up and unite together. And wherever you see an imbalance, and that's if down the line in 5 years, if the vaccines are tested and proven to be helpful, we'll have to assess it at that situation and make another judgment call. But at this point, it's so rushed, it feels so forced, it feels like people are being bullied into having to make a decision, and you should not be doing that. What if you have, I feel terrible for parents. Good Lord, if I had a kid right now and they were forced because of schooling to get the vet, I don't know what I would do, but thank God I'm not in that position. But my heart goes out, because if you've taken the time to, take that responsibility, become a parent, and now you're caring for you got to consider everything. Good Lord, I don't even have kids, and I think about the outcomes of decisions for the future generations to the extent that so I feel for parents, man. My heart goes out. If you have got younger kids and you don't want to get them vaccinated because you don't see that it's been long enough and it's not been proven and tested enough, I completely empathize with you. On the other hand, if you're an elderly individual, if you are suffering from underlying health conditions and you feel like you should get this vaccine because the odds are going to be in your favor to have a better, healthier life, by all means go get it. It's just, again, it's the mandating, it's the coercion, it's the forcefulness of it all, and it's the division of the people that you're either wearing a mask or you're not wearing a mask. You're either good or you're bad. You're either getting the vaccine, you're good, you're saving lives, or you're not getting the vaccine, you're a horrible piece of shit. And that's the message that I hear in the media. I don't hear the just facts. Here are the numbers, here are the facts. Everybody make your own decisions based on what makes sense to you. What makes sense to you? I don't care what your title is. I don't care for titles. Titles don't impress me. I don't care for that. It's so, because I've got a mind of my own. I'm an individual and I've got thoughts, and you guys have that same ability, and I want everybody to exercise it, and people are exercising their rights. And that's the thing. This article is just, at least there's tons of videos, there are tons of articles that are coming out. At least we get to see the other side of it as well. Because for us to blindly just follow somebody or follow a rhetoric without giving it enough time and the attention that it deserves, and just, jump the gun because we're so afraid, and that's not right. That's not the right way of approaching anything. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, I love you very much. Every week we come in here. We've been doing this for the past 7-8 months. It's just the beginning. These are just the baby steps, and I understand my job. I want to be of service. I want to be of service. I want to be helping people. I want to be assisting people. I want to make people happy. I want to make people laugh. I don't want to be talking about too much I don't know. I find myself sometimes, and I feel like a lot of people feel this way. You feel like you just want to be focusing on the positives and doing the good things, and a lot of times you may feel like you're getting sidetracked, and it's all right. It's okay. I'm not going to apologize, because I truly believe this is an important, pivotal moment in history, and I think we just need to be paying a little bit closer attention, and instead of focusing on who's right and who's wrong, I think we should be really focusing on the long-term impacts of our decisions, and try to rid ourselves of these discourses that really get divisive, or stop looking for easy answers, essentially, because everybody wants the easy answer. I got it down because of this, that, and the other, and let's converse, let's talk. Let's not coerce each other. Let's not force each other to do whatever we feel is the right thing. Everybody is entitled to their opinion and to their freedom to the fullest extent. You know what I mean? I hope that resonates with you guys. I love you guys very much. I hope, that's the thing, man. My mom and my stepdad have gotten the vaccines. Anybody, you know what I mean? I'm not sitting here like, again, please, but that's the thing. I feel like a majority of people are level-headed and can understand these things. But again, it's the media outlets. Sometimes the government officials. Sometimes the people placed, again, on top of research programs that take advantage of these positions, and that's the only part that I have an issue with. Other than that, boys and girls, we're going to tackle every day, one day at a time, together with the help of each other. I love you guys. Thank you very much for all your love and support. Stay tuned. We got a lot more, got a lot more cooking for you guys. It is getting nicer outside. We're definitely going to be doing more things, and hopefully incorporating more people, because I'm just one person, and I'm so privileged and lucky to have so many beautiful and good people around me, and I will definitely seek assistance when needed, and I will definitely be there to the best of my ability when others need help and assistance, because I know it takes a community. It takes a community to come together and build this and maintain this wonderful place we call planet Earth. Wherever you are right now, I hope you're safe and sound. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Peace out, everybody.